His name was Alex, and the way he treated me felt like a storybook. He'd materialize with unexpected gifts, a rare edition of my favorite novel, a delicate watercolor painting of the park where we'd had our first picnic. He knew my coffee order by heart, anticipated my moods, and possessed an uncanny ability to finish my sentences. He seemed to possess a preternatural understanding of my likes, dislikes, fears, and aspirations. He was charming, witty, and genuinely kind, radiating an almost ethereal calmness that soothed my anxieties. We met in a bookshop, and from that moment, it felt like our lives were destined to intertwine. Our shared passions for literature and art were the cornerstones of our burgeoning relationship, and our discussions flowed effortlessly, filled with intellectual curiosity and a palpable sense of connection. He introduced me to his friends, a close-knit group who welcomed me with open arms, further solidifying the belief that I'd found a true, lasting relationship. Even his family was warm and inviting, contributing to the seamless integration of my life with his. Alex's apartment was a reflection of his meticulously ordered mind, a testament to his refined taste and quiet intelligence. Sunlight streamed through the large windows, illuminating a space filled with carefully curated furniture, antique maps, and a vast library that testified to his voracious reading habits. The walls were adorned with original artwork, each piece chosen with thoughtful consideration. His apartment was a haven, a testament to a life lived with intention. One aspect, however, was consistently off-limits, a small, unassuming study. He described it as his sanctuary, a space dedicated to his writing, which he pursued with a quiet passion. I respected his need for privacy, and never pressed him for details. Looking back, I realize how cleverly the locked doors served as a barrier, a silent invitation for me to maintain a carefully maintained distance. The catalyst for my unsettling discovery was mundane, a lost charger. Frustrated by my inability to find it, I started a more thorough search of the apartment. I systematically scrutinized every corner, every drawer, and every shelf. The frustration grew with each passing minute. Eventually, my eye landed on the floorboards near the door to the study. As I ran my hand along the baseboard, I noticed a slight give, a subtle separation that I hadn't noticed before. My curiosity, piqued by the mystery of the locked room, overcame my immediate task. A firm push revealed a shallow cavity beneath the floorboard. It was a precisely carved space, clearly designed to house something specific. Inside, meticulously arranged, I found the arsenal of his hidden activities. There were expensive, high-powered cameras, professional-grade equipment that could capture images from a significant distance. They were accompanied by an array of lenses, each designed for a particular purpose, a particular view. A series of labeled USB drives, each meticulously organized, rested beside them. The labeling was the most chilling detail. They weren't generic, each drive bore a name, a date, a location. And then, I found my folder. My name. Opening the drive, I was confronted with an avalanche of images and videos. They weren't just casual snapshots, they were compositions. They showed me, in detail, at various points in my life. The images were taken from across the street, from inside restaurants through the windows, and from my own apartment. Some had dates and times that tracked my movements. It was a timeline of my life, constructed by the very person I had trusted. The videos, even more chilling, captured fleeting moments, conversations, everyday activities. I realized he had been watching me for months, meticulously cataloging my every movement, every action, every expression. It was then the stark truth sunk in: this wasn't love, this was surveillance. The more I looked, the more I felt my stomach twist. The pictures were so personal, taken during private moments. I was laughing with friends, at a cafe, and even asleep in my apartment. Some were just a few moments and others were longer, showing me at work, driving my car and shopping in the grocery store. The same pattern was repeated across folders of the other names, all of whom were seemingly unconnected. These were not just strangers, but a collection of people who crossed paths with Alex's life, as I did. The scale of the operation was terrifying. My mind raced. The charming gestures, the intuitive understanding, the gifts, and the perfect timing, all a carefully constructed performance. He'd crafted a web of intimacy, weaving a carefully crafted fantasy to keep me in place, while simultaneously observing me. Was this his hobby? A twisted fascination? Or something more sinister? Had he done this before? The questions swirled, an endless, sickening carousel. The man I loved was not the man I thought. My life, my safety, was potentially at risk. I carefully closed the USB drive, my fingers trembling. The room was suddenly a suffocating cage. The apartment, once a place of comfort, now held a palpable sense of unease. I replaced the floorboard, leaving everything as I found it. My heart hammered against my ribs as I walked out of the apartment that night, leaving Alex and his carefully curated reality behind. The man I thought I knew was a ghost, a shadow, and I was left alone to piece together the fragments of a shattered dream. The future, once so brightly illuminated, was shrouded in darkness, and I knew, with absolute certainty, that the nightmare had just begun. I needed to find out the truth of his other life before it caught up with me. I needed to be prepared, because I knew, deep down, that I was being watched, still. And that's the story. If you enjoyed this tale of betrayal and discovery, please hit that like button and subscribe for more shocking Reddit stories. Let me know what you thought of Alex's secret in the comments below. See you tomorrow for the next one.